I thought I would talk a little bit about the lost cause today, but in the context of what we're seeing right now. Um, if you've seen any of my videos before, I've weighed in to explain this. So essentially, the lost cause is this narrative that developed after the Civil War, or fully developed after the Civil War, um, among white Southerners who wanted to, come to terms with defeat. And what it essentially does is create an entire mythology about why the Confederacy lost, what slavery was about, and that it was, that the war wasn't about slavery, and essentially make heroes out of Confederate soldiers who had experienced defeat. The thing about the lost cause is it has a very long history, and it wasn't just something that emerged in the aftermath of defeat and then went away. No, it stayed around. And you could see it in textbooks, you could see it in Confederate monuments, you can see it in and hear it in the political rhetoric, not only of the Jim Crow period, but including up to the present day. Part of the way it's used in the present day is to say, well, continue the lie about that the Civil War had been about states' rights and not slavery, and that Confederate monuments are really just about heritage, and suggest that even when they've been removed, which frankly most of them have not, that they're removing history, which of course is not the case. These monuments went up in the early 20th century and are essentially artifacts of Jim Crow. So what is it about today that mirrors what happened in the American South after the Civil War? Well, a lot of it is because the lost cause is based on a lot of lies about the Confederacy, lies about defeat, lies about slavery, lies about the Ku Klux Klan that emerged after Reconstruction. And similarly, we see lies being told by this administration, but also Trump himself. Lies about the fact that he didn't lose the election to Joe Biden when he did. Lies about voter fraud. Lies about immigrants. Lies about all kinds of things. And what is happening in the way that the lost cause developed into an entire narrative that people believed in, we're seeing something similar in that regard, in that people are looking for something to hold on to, in which they can basically suspend reality and believe in these lies. While the South lost the war, what emerged in the aftermath is a region that operated not exactly like an authoritarian regime, but a racist regime, a regime that placed white men in charge, white men at the top of the hierarchy, and everybody else falls beneath. Today, what we're seeing is the rise of Christian nationalism and a regime that wants total dominance with white men in charge and everybody beneath them in that hierarchy. So there are some similarities between these two, particularly around the lies, particularly around ideas of white supremacy and white nationalism. And in both instances, there are efforts underway that undermines racial progress, and as well as progress for women, the LGBTQ community, and others. Please understand that what's going on today did not happen in a vacuum. It's been percolating for quite some time, in much the way that the Lost Cause did as well. The Lost Cause percolated, and it came to a point where white Southerners bought into it, but also, to be frank with you, Americans more broadly did as well.